Nora Heysen was born in Adelaide in 1911. Her father was a well-known artist, Hans Heysen, so she was in a sense privileged because she was taught how to paint and draw by a well-known and established artist. Certainly she used to go out drawing with her father, you know, as a wee little thing. Whether she discovered it or whether her parents said, actually you can draw, you should be an artist, I don't know. They sent her to art school in Adelaide. There were two art schools. There was the precursor of the South Australian School of Art. There was a more conservative one in North Adelaide. They sent her to the more conservative one. In those portraits, those early portraits by an easel or, you know, holding her drawing board, she stages herself as an artist. She held an exhibition, sold the work, that funded her fare to go overseas and some money to support her while she was overseas. She left Adelaide, went to London, 1934, as many Australian artists did. You know, they spent time overseas, and that kind of made her, because she'd been brought up in the mould of the family at the Cedars. Going overseas was really good for her, broadened her outlook enormously, exposed her to modernism. Her teacher at the London School of Arts and Crafts criticised her drawing technique. She'd been taught by her father. And she was really rattled by that. I think the time overseas was really important. Her work really loosened up. And like lots of artists, that expatriate experience where no one knows you're Nora Heysen, no one knows you're Hans Heysen's daughter. You know, there's a kind of a psychological looseness, but because of that psychological state, you're actually free to try things. She respected him enormously. He was critical. I was never able to find the letter when she won the Archibald Prize. And there was something in a later letter where he said, that really, you know, wasn't quite perfect. And then there were other works she used to send back from London, or a portrait she did of her husband in the 50s. And he would say, well, that's not quite right. Or, you know, the portrait of the husband, oh, the arm's not quite right, the sleeve's not quite right. So he was always there as a critic, and she appreciated that. She respects him enormously, but he respected her too. When the Second World War broke out, by 1942, she worked out that she actually had something to offer, some skills. So she let it be known amongst the influential family networks, and there were, because her father being who he was, that she would quite like to put her skills as an artist to work, and she was appointed an official war artist. When she was appointed a war artist, he said he couldn't have done it. She gave a very interesting interview in the early 60s where she said, I don't know whether I'll ever be able to know who I am other than the daughter of a famous artist. She didn't elaborate on that very much, but just that sheer sentence tells you something. After her father died, after the marriage failed, she produced these extraordinary portraits. So I think that tells you something, that she was her own person.